Salutations. I wanted to share some thoughts about what happened in Northern Africa, the so called invasion of Ceuta. Before I say anything, I wanted to give some historical background. You see, the Romans, they called everybody who lived in the Iberian Peninsula Spaniards, the province of Spain. Why? Well, everybody in the Iberian Peninsula kind of shared the same background, even though it was divided into many, many kingdoms that were self-regulating. They just said, just call them Spaniards. It's easier. So there was the Portuguese, the Catalan, the Galicians, the Asturias, the Andalus, the Castellanos, the Leon. I mean, it was divided into many, many realms. But when the Portuguese decided to declare independence around 900 years ago, they called themselves the Portugales, the Portuguese. And they kind of fought and conquered everything that you know today until they reached Northern Africa. They crossed the Pillars of Hercules and they kind of fought, in Northern Africa, in the region of Ceuta, right? Later, the peoples of Castilla and Leon, they formed an alliance and decided to conquer the rest of the territory of the Iberian Peninsula, right? Catalonia, Galicia, Asturias, Andalusia, etc., was conquered by the realm of Castilla. So when they finished, they should have called themselves the country of Castilla, right? But they didn't. They chose the name Spain, which the Portuguese kind of protested. The Portuguese said, no, that's not fair because Spain is the province of the Iberian Peninsula, which includes us, right? So you should choose a different name. I don't know, Castilla, Leon, whatever, but not the Spaniards, not Spain. The international, community didn't care. So it kind of stuck. The name kind of stuck. So the enclave of Ceuta belongs to the Spaniards, Portuguese and the Castellanos, or Spain. Yeah. So it has borders, and one of these borders goes inside the ocean, similar to the United States. It has between Mexico, it has this wall just goes inside the ocean, and that's that wall that those kids, decided to swim around. They swam around the wall. I know, it might have taken minutes. I don't know the size of the thing. It seems that there were some casualties. Obviously, some of those kids didn't know how to swim, maybe, or they were, overwhelmed by the waves. It's a different thing swimming in a swimming pool, the river, or the ocean. It's entire different experiences. Even if you were, a good swimmer, the environment, the terrain, you know, it differs. It's different from place to place. So I think some people got overwhelmed. But anyway, the moment they crossed the border, they decided to return home because they were tired. After the euphoria, the screaming, and the release of hormones. Yay! Whatever they were doing, it was actually, I think, from what I've heard, organized by social media, like a contest, a challenge or some sort, like the bucket or whatever social media does nowadays. There's these challenges among kids, whoever can do it. And I think it was organized the same way. So they jumped the board, immediately wanted to return home because they were tired, wet, and hungry. And that's what happened. They returned home. Obviously, in the world of politics, never let a crisis or an event go to waste, and it could be politically driven. This event organized, by the hidden hands. It could be. Um, it might, give the push, like the last straw that broke the camel's back sort of situation, to the politicians in Europe to rethink the Brussels policies. Everybody's complaining, Everybody's at the peak, losing their minds over the economic, energetic, and border policies. Just doesn't make any sense. Too much taxes, no jobs are being created. Everybody is at the end of the rope. And I think this could be, the event that will change people's minds, created, a mise en scène or not, right? But it could be. Um, Another area of politics that's also changing is in up until now, the left and the theocracies, they've been hand in hand, yes. But it seems that the theocracies, the ones who wear funny hats and coverings, they are distancing themselves from the LGB whatever. The new politicians of today are distancing themselves. So the useful idiots, right, are being discarded, right? That's what happens every time. They use them until they get what they want. Now they have enough seats, they have enough strength. They're discarding the extra weight. So these, crazy people are going back to the closet, a place they should never have left. If you want to do these crazy things, do it in the, privacy of your home. It doesn't need to become public. Let's do a parade. Why? What's wrong with you? So anyway, there might be a change in that. There will be a change. This situation just can't continue. People are losing it, are losing their patience. You know why this happened in the first place? Because the West in general, people of the West, are just too nice. Too nice to the point that they, hang themselves, giving themselves enough rope for them to hang themselves. Too much niceness. That's what led us here. Yeah. So we need to stop being nice. Yeah. Anyway, tell me what you guys think. Have a nice day.